Gulf Coast wine scene and award-winning food entrepreneur.
I know a lot of you wondering what to do with your moon pies, so I've got some wine suggestions for you. Lemon moon pies, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, or Pinot Grigio.
Stuart Reb Donald, acclaimed food and travel writer and world-class chef.
I was the chef de casserole. I made the casseroles in the frozen food department.
For more than a decade, they've combined their expertise to answer your questions and introduce you to the culinary movers and shakers you want or ought to know. 4-time Taste Award finalists, 12-time Nephi Award losers. They are the dynamic duo of dining.
Drop, keep screaming for more.
Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Well, good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Sip and Chew Show with Mike and Stu. And our support group here, Steve and Phil in the background. But
Phil is our emotional support.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yes, welcome to another edition of the Sip and Chew Show on this fine, beautiful, nice fall Sunday morning. Can't wait for after the show.
Really? What's going
Here
on?
we go. Well, we've been invited to, oh, bless you. Bless you, that's not,
Just keep talking.
okay. We've been invited to go sample some bourbons today.
We're going to slit us some whiskey.
Buffy. Oh,
You know, me and Buffy. No, there is no Buffy. So, anyway,
Stuffy with
stuffy, yeah, but we're looking forward to it. This comes around once a year. It's called Bourbon by the Bay, and it's going to be held at the cathedral downtown. The temple downtown.
The cathedral would really be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, be pretty ceiling. But no, it's at the temple. Everybody knows where the temple is, but it happens to be like close to my place, so I can walk there and crawl back.
You can waddle there.
Or waddle back.
And
maybe.
weeble back.
So, anywho, but that'll be our day today. But anywho,
When we do it for you, the listener,
mhm.
we make these sacrifices.
And we'll talk about it next Sunday.
Yeah.
What we like the most. And,
Yeah.
is this like just an excuse to break out the bottle of bourbon or what?
well, actually, I forget how many different type of representatives of bourbons are going to be there. It's quite a few. And
It's more like they break out 40 kinds of.
and they'll have each booth will have
It's
like
premium whiskeys and bourbons. Right?
Well,
Yeah,
their whole gamut. They'll
they have it.
their whole list.
They go from from their beginner
Mhm.
to their finest things they have
The highest, yeah.
in their portfolio.
Yeah, they go from the paper bag waddling in the back alley all the way up to the crystal decanter.
That's it.
Wow.
But, yeah, they'll all be represented there today, and looking forward to it. Our friend Seth Detling with Detling Distillery out of Atmore, Alabama. He'll be there sampling his bourbon.
Is there a purpose behind all this? I guess.
It's for charity. I forget which one.
I forget which charity it is, but
Partnership, isn't it?
there's going to be great music there. It's going to be Phil and Foster be there playing, and I always look forward to hear them guys. They do a great job entertaining. And then there's it's a charity event. And
Coastal Alabama Partnership, I believe, is what it's for. They help to benefit a strong voice regional infrastructural needs. Yeah.
Man can read, can he?
pretty good for a Midwestern boy.
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at there. There's the phone. I got to go.
So, anywho,
They don't talk right.
anywho. Well, so Stu, what's going on in your world this week? Anything interesting?
Oh, well, it is nice to be the fan of a college sports team who went undefeated both in basketball and football this week. That's nice.
This week?
Yeah, this week. Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, the basketball going undefeated is not that big a deal. But, Auburn looked like a different team yesterday. Of course, they weren't playing anybody. Every time Peyton Thorne gets in front of a nobody team, he looks like Peyton Manning. Cam Coleman from Central Phoenix City, the the guy that was actually rated above Ryan Wilder or Ryan Williams that y'all got,
Mm-hmm.
went off yesterday. 5 catches, 3 touchdowns, 100 yards.
But you just said, but it was.
If you saw the catches he made,
I saw
Yeah.
a picture of
that one-handed catch, yeah, that doesn't matter who your opponent is.
Yeah.
That's all about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he had another fade pattern in the corner that was just fantastic. And he's a big kid. He's like 6'3" or 6'4", about 210 pounds, playing
Yeah.
wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's big. And y'all did not lose yesterday.
Oh,
Y'all
we're
squeaked by
playing
Mighty
tonight.
Mercer. Yeah. And that's the one thing that I could take a little pride in is the team we played yesterday would schedule the team y'all played yesterday if they wanted an easy W. And y'all took care of business, y'all.
Yeah.
We're looking good here in the second
It was a
part.
good practice game.
Yeah.
But I had an opportunity to go, but I'm still moving. I'm still my body. I haven't worked every muscle yet. I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
I hung some LED lighting in my garage yesterday, and it was the garage is packed full of stuff, and I had to work like a contortionist trying to hang sealant, hang LED lighting up there so I could see
Yeah.
in the darn place, because I had like 2 lighting fixtures from the 50s hanging up in there, and the sheetrock was brittle, and so. But that's because it's exposed more to the outside than the inside of the house. But anyway.
I did see, while you were out a couple of weeks ago, I did 7 dishes at local restaurants that were my
Mhm.
favorite bites in Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
And I can no longer get one of those. Mandina's in Spanish Fort is no longer Mandina's in Spanish.
Yes, right.
I believe it is called Rosemary's Restaurant, and it's Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the food is fine. I looked through the pictures. Looks like they had some great dishes. But now I got to go all the way to New Orleans to get good trout meuniere. Or
They're not
one
going
of
to have
our,
that there?
Huh?
They're not going to have that there still?
It's a different restaurant.
It's not,
Trout
it's not
meun-
the same owners?
No, this is an Italian restaurant now.
Well, Mandina's was the Italian family.
Yeah, but trout meuniere is not an Italian dish. Mandina's is an Italian and Creole restaurant.
Yeah.
Their menu split half and half.
That caught a lot of people off guard.
It did me. It hurt my soul.
I
So
still
any
have not
other
eaten
local restaurant, if you want to bring back trout meuniere, a dish that is famous along the Gulf Coast, but people have forgotten about it, by all means do it and let me know. Pete, are you listening?
Well, Alex,
Yeah. And well, it's still not an Italian dish, Mike. That's a Creole dish.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
So-
keep saying that, but yeah. What about Boudreaux?
If they want to do it, sure.
They may do it already.
Yeah. No sway, dadgummit.
No Shui.
Yeah.
No Shui.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ask people when I go, because the other day I went to Clovis Cafe in Fairhope and I saw they had spaghetti and catfish as specials that day. So she fixed me a plate where I got the spaghetti and the catfish, which is an African American dish in the Delta, famous in the Delta from down in the Delta of Mississippi all the way up to Memphis.
You mean spaghetti with fried catfish?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Never heard it.
Well, see, I saw Alta Brown and Nancy Bourdain. They did it with fried chicken. They did it with waffles. They did it with catfish.
Yeah.
Well, she just happened to have 2 specials Friday.
That you could do that.
I combined them.
Yeah.
And I said, can I get the catfish and some spaghetti
Yeah.
on the side? So she gave me a plate full of spaghetti and 2 big old pieces of fried catfish, and they were delicious.
I tell you what I made the other week.
What?
Very, very hardcore. You listen, David Hubble? Cajun dish. Alligator sauce piquant.
Piquant.
Yeah, which is basically a spicy spaghetti with alligator instead of ground beef. Cajun spices. That is the first dish I ever remember watching Justin Wilson cook.
Okay.
And he said, "Oh, what wines goes with this? Whatever wines you like."
Mm-hmm. I love watching that show.
Yeah.
As a kid, I watched it as a kid.
And that's
I
why
think
I
a
can
lot of
pronounce it correctly. It's because the only time I've heard anyone pronounce it, it was Justin
I
Wilson.
still say onion.
Yeah.
Let's say on your
Say some numbers, Mike.
251-343-0106 is the Callahan's Irish Social Club call in and text in line.
Very good, sir.
Drinking lots of carrot juice and soaking over it.
Your business
So you
needs a
said
network you can count
Mendina's
on.
is no longer?
Sorry, what?
You said
Comcast
it closed
Business has you
Mendina's or
covered.
no?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi
A new
backup
restaurant.
to help keep
Oh,
your
wow.
business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse
Mendina's.
good? Lights
Mendina's
are out.
or
But
Mendina's?
Wi-Fi's up.
Mandina
It's from a company with 99.9% network reliability.
Best ribeye I've ever had.
Get my burrito, Wi-Fi's fine. Let's go on.
Power on with a leader in connectivity.
Well, they have two
Comcast
restaurants
Business, powering possibilities.
Well, it says
Learn how to
Spanish
get
Fort
Comcast
open.
Business Internet and
Yeah.
Security Edge
But
plus Wi-Fi
again, you're
backup
just going
for
by.
$59.
Yeah, I got a
12 months
notification on
with two-year
Facebook
agreement.
yesterday that
Comcast Business Unlimited
restaurant
Mobile. And ask how to
been
get up to a
following their
$600
brothers
prepaid
to
card
change
for
their
qualifying gig bundle.
name.
Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24.
Yeah, they
Restrictions
still
apply.
haven't
New
updated
customers
the
only with
website
300 megabit per second internet, security edge, and Wi-Fi backup. Eagle bill and auto pay required. Equipment tax and fees extra.
Mendina's
and subject to
restaurant
change.
and all.
Oh,
Let's face
There's
it.
a little
if
pink
you
blue
want
place there on
to be a
Canal.
real show,
yes, found it on a Sunday, trying to find a place to go. It wasn't wrapped up. Only a place that was open.
back on the road in a car that
Yeah.
works
And it had a line up the door,
Don't get run over by big insurance
And I
companies.
said, we'll
You have
just
a
drive
choice.
along
You
canal.
repair
City
your car,
gets
and
food
we'd be honored
everywhere.
if you chose us.
And
We
everything
only
was
use
kind of,
factory parts.
when you
Lifetime
couldn't tell if they were
warranty
even
on all
open or
our
not.
models. Stop by
And then we
today.
drove by this
Estimates are
place,
always
they
free.
had 4 cop cars parked in the parking lot. So we're doing it.
That's a
Do you
good
like
sign.
following your favorite high school sports
Wow.
teams?
Well, I mean,
Do you
unless
want
the
to know
flights
more
are
about the
flashing, you know.
actions of
Yeah.
state, county, and city leaders?
But,
Do you want a newspaper that
their
speaks to you
gumbo
and
was
your
probably the
interests?
best in New Orleans.
If you answered yes, you should be reading the Call News.
I don't know if
Since
they ever
first
had
published in
Chinese
1897, the
food.
Call News has
I got a
reported
heat
on the
later.
issues
Man,
that
I'm
matter
ready.
to the people of South
Ready for that
Alabama
train?
and continues to be ranked as one of
Try to see if
Alabama's
we can
best
swing
weekly
complimentary
newspapers.
passes.
Purchase the Call News at many grocery
Little
and convenience stores in South Alabama,
which is
including
not made
Walmart, Rouse's, and Circle K's. And if your favorite store doesn't have it, let us know and we'll make it available. If you want the Call News delivered to your home, we can do that too for less than $1 per week. Call us today, 251-866-5998. That's 251-866-5998.
Well, you gotta go to Mississippi gas station on Long Coast.
Visit us online,
So
thecallnews.com,
there's several
and get
gas
connected
stations
to
on
the Call
Coast, so
News.
there you go to.
For more than
Good
50
place.
years,
Jack
American
by the
has
track.
showcased the history, style, arts,
They got
dining, and
great-
entertainment that defines
Yeah.
excellence on
Sushi
both
and
sides of
Hobo.
Mobile Bay.
Where?
Each month's issue
Jack's
is
by the
filled with
tracks,
unique
that's the good
Southern Alabama culture.
On
Beautiful
Friday.
Yeah, I think I have heard of
through
that.
engaging
Yeah.
articles
Great
and stunning
music on
photography. When you
I did
subscribe
go
to
to your
Mobile Bay
home state.
magazine, you'll be swept into the pages where recipes,
Mississippi.
familiar places,
I'm
and
more
faces,
red, though.
and
Tried
untold
to find
stories
Red
abound.
Bluff.
Start
Couldn't,
your
but
journey
we found a
today
cool
by visiting
overlook, like we missed about 100
mobilebaymag.com.
yards.
That's
Overlook the school too.
mobilebaymag.com.
30 seconds.
Hello again,
With
friends.
the
I'm
wars.
Randy Bergen, inviting you to
Okay.
join me,
Yeah.
Coach Rick Cleveland, and
You get
Coach
the
Mark
lottery
Lassiter for the Thompson
Yeah.
Tractors Principal
That's the
Report.
weirdest thing
We'll be
about
coming
it.
to you
Being able to buy
live from
lottery.
the Eastern Shore Toyota
Anywhere in
Clinic
the state of
Studios for
Alabama.
2 hours
Yeah.
beginning at 8 a.m.
We're going
every
to
Saturday
take the South.
morning.
Go to
We'll
Miss-
visit with coaches,
go to McLean,
athletes,
Mississippi,
administrators,
where they got
and
a
more
ward,
as we'll keep you up to
a
date
Dollar
on all
General,
things prep
and you can
along
buy
the Gulf
lottery.
Coast and the state of Alabama. Wake up with the Prep
And
Sports
bigger than where I
Report
grew up.
this Saturday morning starting at 8 a.m. right here on FM Talk 106.5.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Thanks, you folks, Mike.
Hey, we got a few folks to thank. We got to thank Bob's Downtown
We're
Diner
gonna
on Florida
thank
Fat Havoc, which I ate breakfast at this morning. I had the cornmeal battered catfish and the Gouda grits, and they were good.
Good.
So and I got a sausage patty. So
Yeah.
but
That was good. I see what you did. The good. They were good.
that Gouda. But and recently Bob's just experienced their 10-year anniversary, and there's a great story about Tony in the Facebook thingy there about our Southern Souls that Lynn Oshu did on him. Great story. Knew most of it. So anyway, also we want to thank Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats.
We're probably gonna see them folks
I
today.
know we're going to see them.
Yep.
I know we're going to see them. And we want to thank Butch Cassidy's over there in the heart of Floshell, which is O'Shell and Florida Street, but he's on the Florida Street side. So anyway,
Yep.
Other than that, hey, did you know today is National Baklava Day?
Ooh, everybody loves baklava.
Oh, who doesn't? Hey, baklava.
That quote I just did is from a TV commercial that was about pop-ups on your browser.
Mhm.
And it said it's just like if somebody was knocking on your door constantly and they'd hear the doorbell ring, they'd open the door and somebody's like, be the first in your neighborhood to own all of it. Then it rings again and this guy goes, everybody loves baklava. And she slams the door again.
Oh,
But I love the phrase, everybody loves baklava.
okay.
Well,
I do.
Yes.
And I think everybody's already had the Greek Fest.
Yeah.
I got it out of the way, but
generally October, isn't it?
huh?
It's October.
Yeah.
Late October, mainly October, yeah. But I've seen them have as late as early part of November. But yeah,
It
Pensacola.
used to always be the day of the Alabama LSU game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They really did. And they would have two big screens set up under the tent so
Mhm.
that people could keep on drinking and dancing and watching the Tide and the Tigers.
Yeah. But
I ventured to your birth state
yeah.
this week to do a little hiking. There's a canyon called Red Bluff,
Mhm.
where the difference between a canyon and a valley is that a valley is you have mountains on each side. A canyon is flat surface and something has eroded down into it.
Yeah.
And what it gives you is this red clay canyon that looks a lot like what you'd find in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Missed the turnoff somehow. Google did not have good directions to it. And I
probably never been
found
there.
it on All Trails. I should have been using All Trails because it had, as soon as I pulled it up when we got back home and I looked at All Trails, I went, oh, yeah, that's that driveway. I thought it's just a driveway. I remember seeing the road. But we round the corner, and on the other side of the road from where the canyon was, you're on this ridge, and dude, you could see east back across Mississippi almost all the way to Hattiesburg.
Wow.
So we got out and just enjoyed that, took a picture of the Beaver Moon, which was this big moon that we've had this week, the last super moon of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But we also made a stop at Ward's Restaurant. Those who know.
You know.
Those who don't, you got to go to Hattiesburg and go to Ward's or Leakesville
Or McLean,
Gulfport.
McLean, Mississippi.
36 locations from Jackson all the way down to Gulfport.
There used to be one on O'Shell Road, which is now Subway.
Yep. Family owned, two brothers. One would work day shift, the other would work night shift, and they had been open for years before someone realized it wasn't just one really hard-working man. And then they ultimately grew into, but you know what the draw is? Chili. They're known for their chili, especially on a cheeseburger. And like my friend Kendra said, one of the things I like about it is they realize mustard is supposed to go with chili. When it's on a hot dog or on a hamburger, there should be mustard there.
That's how I usually eat mine.
Mustard and chili.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
sauerkraut. I like sauerkraut.
I don't know if they had any, but we also they make their own root beer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In-house, frosty mug. I know Steve knows what we're talking about. All I got to do is say A&W.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I miss my A&W root beer and root beer floats, buddy. Ooh, man.
We took a trip up to North Dakota a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and we stopped in Ward's.
On the way up.
Yeah, because my girlfriend at the time had never tried Ward's. And then when we got to Cedar Rapids, I think, we went to an A&W.
Yeah.
Because she never experienced one of those.
Yeah.
So that was
like it, man.
2 days in a row. We had root beer and a frosty mug and a chili cheeseburger or a hot dog.
You know, and they used to make frosty root beer. You very, very seldom they'll find that.
Yeah, you can find it.
Mike's the guy that
I used to have a soft drink business.
Yeah.
And I dealt in vintage soft drink, and Frosties and Dads were my biggest sellers.
Frosty and Dad's. I
With
like Frosties.
Mr. Myers Marketplace there at Greenlock still got them?
No.
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 Okay. I know they were your client, and I thought maybe
Yeah,
they got it from someone else.
but they were made with pure cane sugar
Yeah.
instead of
High fructose.
you get fructose, but drinks, and I have a source for that, but the company makes them with pure cane sugars out of Washington State. It costs an arm and a leg just to ship them, but there's like I
But let me
carried
put
probably
you on something else that's local. And I ain't talking about Barks because as soon as Coca-Cola bought them, they put HFCS in. Abita, the beer company.
Really?
Oh my gosh, their root beer.
That's one of the finest root beers there is.
Yeah, it is
great.
unbelievably good.
I'm kind of
It's not a
root beer
birch.
snob.
Yeah, it's not a birch beer like Barks. Barks is a wonderful birch beer. There's 3 different roots that you make it from. Birch is one of them.
Okay.
And that's what gives Barks that
Bite.
that bite that they have.
Well, it's got caffeine too.
Right.
It's one of the few that have caffeine.
Right. And I'm sure it's added to it. But that's why it tastes so different than what you're used to with sarsaparillas and just regular root beer, which is made from sassafras.
I got you.
But so it is a totally different root beer, although it is still root beer. And of the type that it is, the birch beer, fantastic.
Mhm.
Mark's is a fantastic birch beer. But birch beers are not good for root beer floats.
No. Yeah, yeah.
Mark's makes a terrible root beer float.
Yeah, that's what part of the reason I went through that phase early on. You get into it and then you move away
Mhm.
and you find, oh, it's just root beer. Root beer's root beer.
No, because of the different roots they
It's
use.
It's not. See, and
Totally
I'm not a
different.
fan. I'm not a fan of A&W because to me it's too vanilla-y like.
Oh, that's smooth, man. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well, that's the
That's to the taste of
industrialization of it. If
But
you
I
got
like-
it in an A&W, you'd really get it.
Yes.
Well, we had one on Spring Hill, Moffett Spring Hill, like back in the 60s. And they had the big mug on the roof
Yeah,
that
yeah,
spun around.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. First A&W I ate at was in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Mhm.
And I got a pizza burger.
Yeah.
A burger with pepperoni and mozzarella and
Yeah.
there and there on it. Because I was like, I never can decide, what do you want to dinner tonight when we're on the road? Pizza or burgers? Because it's always one of those two that I wanted. And then I saw that at A&W and went, a pizza burger.
And they made it with pork and beef mixed into the patty. That was the secret. And it
Now,
was, woo.
Over in Louisiana, there's still some around Frost Top, and they sell Frost Top at Rouse's. But Frost Top was a restaurant. You go in there and get a burger, get a hot dog, corn dog, all that stuff. They had their own root beer too. And when you ordered the root beer, they gave you a frosted mug.
Mhm.
And then they had a guy who'd walk around the restaurant filling your mug up.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I
Yeah.
like that. The one in Thibodeau by Rouse's headquarters, when I used to go there once a month to deal with them, they bulldozed it after COVID. They bulldozed it. I'm going, what? That was the only one I knew of. That
We did the Miracle Mile and where I grew up in Colby, Kansas. And it was at the end of the Miracle Mile and you turn right back around, went down to Toys, Guns and Yo-Yos, Gibson's, TG&Y, and then you made it back down. But oh yeah, you had to stop in and do the root beer float. You had to do the onion rings.
absolutely.
So A&W is a national treasure out
I
there.
like the IBC
It's
too.
like Stuckey's.
IBC, yeah. IBC is a fantastic root beer. I'm at the ABC restaurants or
Yeah.
the A&W restaurants.
Yeah, right.
And they used to be the pull-up like Sonic is now, the drive-in
Exactly.
style.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Now that one in, I think it was Cedar Falls was where we went to.
You know, over on Highway 90, that Crystal there, it's been there for over 50 years.
Really?
Because I was a kid and we went there. But I remember the first Crystal ever was when I lived in Pritchard as a kid. They would skate out to your car. You'd place your order on that little speaker, and the girls wore skates, and they would skate your order out to your car. And they put that little food tray thing on the side of your car.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days. I've been trying to find out how old that one is on Highway 90, but I'll find out. 251-343-0106 is Callahan's Irish Social Club call and texting line.
Warm rolling sea and all my dreams, somewhere I've lost them. Mobile Bay, Magnolia Leaves.
FM Talk 1065, the Gulf Coast
We're
Weather
going
Authority.
to get a little political in the next section.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna talk a little politics in the next section.
All right, let me finish what day it is.
Before we get the calls, no.
Oh, no. Everybody in this part of goodness will be on us. Everybody in America. Whoopi Goldberg thing about her calling out the bakery saying they refused to make her Charlotte Russe because of political views. And then the
John Bobo here with
president
Capital
of Staten
Tractor.
Island or
Getting the
whatever the
job done
guy
right is
called
job one.
comes
You
on
need
and he said
construction equipment that's
their
built
boiler
right
was
by
out. They
hardworking
told you
Kubota
their
track
boiler
loaders
was
and
out. They
excavators
would
from
try
Capital
and
Tractor.
satisfy the
Right
orders
now,
they
get
could, but they
0%
didn't want to
APR
commit
financing up to
because
48
their
months
boiler
for
was out.
credit on select Kubota equipment,
And
including
what's
the
funny is she's
best-selling
dragging them
compact
on the
excavator in the
show
world. Now through December
with
31st,
50 of their
2024,
Charlotte
see
Russe sitting
Capital
there that
Tractor
they
or
were
go to
able to still go ahead and
KubotaUSA.com for
fulfill
more
the order.
details. Capital Tractor, Mobile, Lucedale, Brundage, and Montgomery.
The ignorance
The
of some
Home
people.
Service Fund sponsors this paid advertisement.
And
Attention,
you know, and
homeowners.
you wonder when
AC,
that line is not
$4,600.
is
Water
ignorance. I was informed, but I chose to stay in
Fridge in the
pride.
fridge, $1,000.
Yeah.
You need home warranty coverage from the Home Service Club. For around $1 a day, if any of your covered appliances and systems break down, HSC will either do the repair or replace them. HSC has over 15,000 pre-screened, highly rated technicians with the fastest response time in the industry. HSC provides coverage for up to 47 different appliances and systems in your home. Call for a free, no obligation quote from a trusted HSC service specialist about a home warranty for your entire home, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. 800-929-7449. Call now and get your first month free, plus $75 off your first year. 800-929-7449. 800-929-7449. That's 800-929-7449. 800-929-7449.
And I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game. So I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Alabama at highschoolofficials.com.
The employees and hosts of FM Talk 1065, thank you, our listening family, for making us Lanyap Nappy Award winners once again. You listened and voted for Mobile Mornings as the best morning show and DJ team. Sean Sullivan's Midday Mobile for Best Talk Show, and Plain Living for Alabama and the Gulf Coast with host Bill Finch for Best Lifestyle Show. Thank you for taking the time to vote and, more importantly, listening to locally owned Hometown Talk on FM Talk 1065. To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Hey, Stu.
Hey, Mike.
You know, earlier I was talking about baklava, but it's also homemade bread day, butter day, and, of course, my favorite wine in the world, Zinfandel day. Now, all I can think about is making some homemade bread, taking that soft whipped butter and smearing it on there. Whooped butter, smeared on that bread, sit back and eat it, drinking a little red Zinfandel, and maybe even to quench my thirst for sweetness, a little bite of baklava. So that would be a great day.
Would you dunk the bread in your wine?
Why not? Why not? Two quick birthdays. Erin Brandt on her Boudreaux across there. We just mentioned
why they were on your mind,
I guess. But yeah, a great restaurant, great view of the sun going down late afternoons. Great place to go have a little early dinner, get your glass of wine or your favorite adult beverage, watch the sun go down. Great view.
Alabama table wine.
That's it. And then I want to say happy birthday to Ben Alleman. Him and his wife own Buster's Barbecue in Robertsdale.
Great
Some
place.
of the finest.
Oh man, it's good.
Brisket. Oh my God, the brisket. Now I like it. They'll say, do you want it lean or you want it some of that fat? I said, give me some of that fat.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Yeah, and then the lean comes from the flat. There's two parts.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it. But anywho.
Well, we don't do politics on this show as a rule.
Mm-hmm.
The only time we do is when it involves what we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, politics got involved with what we do, and what we do kick politics butt. This week on The View, everybody's favorite horrible person, Whoopi Goldberg, had a bunch of Charlotte Russe, which is a really simple dessert. It's like sponge cake, some strawberry jam, a whipped topping on top. But there was a bakery in Long Island that's famous for theirs. And she said that she tried to order from them and they refused her order because of her political views. Well, the Staten Island Borough President, Vito Facilia, you don't want a dude named Vito Facilia mad at you in New York.
Or Sal.
Yeah. Yeah. So Vito has a press conference in New York, in whatever the capital of Staten Island is. And to say the city was aware that there was a boiler problem at this bakery, and that they explained to Whoopi Goldberg that they were having a boiler problem and did not want to commit to the order because they weren't sure whether or not they could fulfill it. But they did fulfill it, and it's obvious they did because while she's complaining that they wouldn't fix her the order, she's surrounded on set by 50 Charlotte Ruths from that bakery. So she just out and out lied.
Wow.
So the bakery is Holterman's Bakery in Staten Island. The owner, Jill Holterman, is, I believe, the third or fourth generation,
Wow.
possibly fifth, to own this bakery that has been in operation for 146 years. So she decided to take the hardest industry in the world to make a profit. And especially when you're going up against the big chains who artificially deflate the price of food just to put mom and pop businesses out.
Right.
And she decides she's going to use small business to advance her agenda, and she got caught in it. And this President Vito,
Yeah.
is not. He's calling for at least an apology.
Oh, at least.
But
I would-
honestly, she tried to sabotage a small business. She should be looking at jail time. The liable from that.
Well, the libel, okay.
Liability, yeah.
Will probably force ABC to cancel the show, which
Well, they keep saying,
Is
they've been
overdue.
saying for years that that's going out, they're
yeah,
canceling
but
the show, but
they've been
Hasn't
doing a lot of
happened
crazy
yet.
stuff like this week.
it's like all the stars said they're gonna leave
Yeah.
the country, but they haven't yet, so.
Yeah.
But see that right there, to mess with a small mom and pop business like that, and you're a powerful, wealthy person,
Yeah.
and you slander a place like that, that's
Yeah.
just uncalled for.
Especially just because you want to eat. I mean, I know
Yeah.
food's important, but
She looks like she needs to stay away. She needs to go to a salad bar, maybe.
Well, I'm not going to comment on her physical appearance or anything, just her personality, which is wretched.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah,
Well, viewpoint
what I'm saying is doing stuff like that should have criminal charges with it. Now the bakery can sue them, but there should be jail time with something like that.
That's a little extreme,
Well, really?
but
You're going to put a bakery that's been around for 146 years
well,
out
that's
of
what you
business
got. The
with a
court system.
lie?
That's what you got. The
See,
court
that's the
system for
thing.
to
It's a
sue.
lie.
She's
Yeah.
got.
Say,
She's
at
got
least a
money to sue her.
retraction. I think a retraction and some, maybe some service time in there to go in and actually work and see how it works. That's the problem. Most people
Community
don't go
service would
in.
be good.
That's what I'm saying. Most people don't realize what other people do for a living. It's,
Yeah.
You know, this attitude of, is that all you do? Well, I could do that. That's,
What the president of the Oviedo pointed out was the workers there get to work at 2:30 in the morning
Yeah, right.
to start making this food and have for 146 years.
got to make the donuts. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly. And
Mhm.
that's just, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, I think the other's a little extreme, but that beside the point. The point is, don't, like you said, attack a small business who's, you know, part of the community. That's no. There's
Yeah.
something
Yeah. If it was actual
That's a
discrimination, not a problem.
Skewed view.
Or a misunderstanding. This wasn't a misunderstanding. She fabricated an entire story.
Mhm.
And that's why I say, you know,
And you gotta wonder how
making
much.
a false police report is a crime that you can go to jail for.
Well,
There's
that's-
that.
Yeah.
There is that.
There is that point of how much of this is trying what we used to call shock radio.
Yeah.
You know, where you go in and it's designed to get the attention.
Yeah.
You know, how much of that? So yeah. I
But
see.
eventually shock radio crosses a line and they end up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, how many
Blue
times has
Radio
Howard
was-
Stern's show been canceled? And he had to
Oh,
find somebody else to put
and
him on.
paid
the air.
buttload of money to.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good point though.
Yeah. But and then it's cherry filling, not strawberry. I read cherry. Yeah. I've never had a Charlotte Russe.
Well, then it's totally different.
Yeah.
Changes everything right there. Changes everything. But
Now we're talking
you mentioned
criminal.
something.
Now we're talking criminal.
Up north, they have boilers.
Yeah.
Up there, whereas we don't have that down here.
No, it's because we live in a boy.
Yeah. I like
They have
people.
basements up here. You don't have basements down here either.
We got some, but you know,
They're not a good idea when you have hurricanes.
Well,
well, if you live close to the water, it does.
exactly, because the saturation point is going to drown you anyway.
Yeah, I lived in a house in Satsuma that had the moisture problems with it, right on Steel Creek.
Well,
And it had a basement that was, I mean, it was all we could do to get fight black mold.
How
Years
do you
ago.
build a basement in sand? That's just not even smart.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the soil is up around Satsuma.
But-
Sims, it's very sandy, and that's why it's so
That's what
good
I'm
for
saying,
nursery.
just this close.
I
yeah.
once lived at Cottage Hill Road, up Cottage Hill Road, one of the highest points in Mobile. And I was going to
The
put
Cottage Hill.
the Cottage Hill, and I was going to put a basement where I was, and it was going to be a half a basement because my house was off the ground because I wanted to put a wine cellar.
I
want to put a wine cellar now, okay? I want to put a wine, it's okay. And the city wouldn't say, I really would not recommend it. And I said, why? He said, because there's so many streams and water streams underground there, you'll have problems forever.
Yeah.
And he was right, because people put in pools, some of them had to put pumps in under outside of their, down, they had to put like a gravel bed to collect water to pump it out. Just so their pool wouldn't collapse. And it made sense, but I
That's
still
where I grew up.
I still wanted a wine cellar.
Yeah, it's soil. You were limestone was still a couple 100 feet down, and you had a lot of topsoil, the first half mile. But down here it's all sand,
But it's true, because there's so many up in the hills there. There's so many streams everywhere. You see a hill and you'll see moisture at the bottom where the water's just leaking out of the ground.
Nobody thinks about it around here, but if you drive around and all you see is Dog River signs.
Yeah, Dog River
Everything's
watershed.
everything's
Yeah, and the watershed starts on this end up at Dreamland.
Yeah.
At that ditch that's right next to their parking lot. That's the beginning of Aslava Creek. And Aslava Creek winds all through this area by the mall here.
Right.
All of this stuff in this little canal back here gets funneled into Aslava Creek. The overflow from McGavin Circle or whatever that's called.
McGavin Park.
Thank you. I confuse it with McGavick Pike, which is a major road in Nashville. All of that ends up in Aslava, which ultimately ends up in Dog River.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's been a tremendous battle to keep Aslava Creek clean. They've done a great job of cleaning it up the last 15, 20 years, because all that garbage from the malls, from the new shopping center, all of this asphalt out here, every styrofoam cup or plastic lid ends up in Dog River.
But they have a Slava Creek Music Festival today too. But Ryan Balthrith and they once a year get canoes or kayaks and they go around and clean up the creek.
Yeah.
Slava Creek a lot.
That's at that they launched now that new park on Dog River. I'm trying to remember, it's near Riviera du Chien, out off of Riviera du Chien, I believe. And they launched from there. I haven't been to that park yet. I need to go.
You say yet?
Yeah.
I hear
I think that's where they're playing today.
I hear a video coming on.
Yeah, we'd be going to see Lauren Murphy if we went drinking whiskey.
But I still haven't. I'm still looking. I look at people's kayaks all the time. I go, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. So relaxing.
Yeah, you got a truck now. You just pick it up, throw it in the bed of the truck.
I know.
Styx River. They can rent them in Styx River, dude.
There's a lot of places right
Over here in Wilcox.
There's a park in Foley that is supposed to have a kiosk. You go up, put your credit card in, get a kayak, and go.
Wow.
And I want to check that out.
Where's that?
Some park in Foley that just got completely refurbished. I'm sure OI money really helped with that.
I'm sure, yeah.
And the tourism stuff. And that's great. I would like every community to continue developing parks because there's a lot of people that don't know what it's like to be outside.
251-343-0106 is the Callahan's Irish Social Club call and text in line. Come on, folks, give us a call.
Sidestep there, you ought to see, including the brand new Dolphin Island Beach mobiles.
FM Talk 1065 is Mobile and Baldwin County.
Yeah, my son
number
got
one creator
son
of
got
local
married.
content.
In his apartment.
Listen on air, online, and
Big old kayak behind the television, you know, and then the couch, which is a full stretch around couch.
At Humana, our Medicare
People,
Advantage plans
we
give you
bought the house
coverage and
that
care
we
you can
the
count
house that was living in house that we bought.
to help you feel your best.
When we
Our
went to the
licensed sales
walkthrough,
agents are ready to help you
see if we
understand
liked
your
the house or
options
not.
and choose a
He had two
Medicare
kayaks
Advantage
and
plan. You
garage.
feel confident
I looked
because you have plan
back there.
options that fit your needs.
I hope he leaves
You could have a plan with a $0 premium
He did.
and even
We
personalized
used
care
to,
from a
when
wide
the reason I
network of
mentioned,
doctors
over
or all-in-one
there,
plans
take
that
care of
may
it
have
for my
some
kids
medical
lived
and
when
prescription
my
coverage,
wife was
as
married
well as
on her.
routine dental, vision, and
Eight.
hearing.
And,
When it comes to the benefits and support you need,
Anyway,
Humana has
the
Medicare
guys had
Advantage
taught,
plans made
they had
for
to
your
fight
well-being.
rally down where
Your
you
wallet.
land.
Learn more at
And he rented all this
getHumana.com.
out.
Humana, a more human
But
way
they
to
go
help
down and stick
Humana
over
is
the
a Medicare Advantage HMO and
tubes
PPO organization
and
with
kayaks,
Medicare
stuff like
contract. Enrollment in
The
any
fun
Humana
part
plan
was
depends on
they
contract.
would rent kayaks and tubes, and they use the tubes. Every time you guys mention
LCM Motor
charcuterie
Cars helps their customers find the cars or trucks they want and helps
they
them
would
find
stretch a piece
financing
of
that works
plywood
best
over
for them.
that and
That's
take
why
your,
LCM clients keep coming back
tie
to buy
down,
their cars.
your
See the current inventory at
electric cord tie down, and
LCMmotorcars.com.
then put your
What's on the
food
lot
and
of
beer on that, then roll it
Highway
over.
90 Theodore? For more than 50 years,
Hey, if it works, it works.
has showcased the history,
Not
style,
there.
arts, dining,
He's in a
and
tube that
entertainment
puts
that defines
galvanized
excellence
buckets
on
in it.
both sides of Mobile
They
Bay.
have one,
Each month's issue
and
is
this is
filled
on
with our
Causeway.
unique Southern Alabama
and they
culture,
go flounder.
beautifully captured
Go to
and
us
told
with
through
one
engaging articles and
galvanized
stunning
bucket,
photography.
and then
When
they
you
put
subscribe to Mobile Bay
the
Magazine,
beer
you'll be
and
swept into the pages
ice
through
and other.
recipes, familiar places,
And then they
and
had one for
faces,
the fish, the ice.
untold
You know,
stories abound.
they say so much about rednecks in the South. I promise you, we did that on the lake in
MobileBayMag.com.
Kansas
That's
too.
MobileBayMag.com.
We called them pontoon boats.
Adoption would happen for us, but when it did, it
Pontoon
happened
boats.
threefold.
Right, pontoon.
Mary and
Get
her
out there in the middle of the
husband
lake.
first met their 3 children when they
Put a
became
keg
their
on it.
foster parents. Little did they know that their house would become the siblings' forever home.
We had to help them adjust to the idea that they
Oh.
wouldn't have to leave. Children in foster care have lived and survived so
Get some
much.
gas
We had to
in
help
our
them
truck,
process
and then I'm
their
gonna go
trauma.
home
And
change
now to
clothes
hear our
and
children say that they
and
know
they
they
walk
have
up
a mother
on
and
the
father
sidewalk.
who take care of us, teach us,
Probably
and
gonna
love
go to Home
us
Depot and see if I can
means
find some more rat
everything.
tax.
The
I
Dave
bought
Thomas
on Walmart a
Foundation
year
for
ago, so they
Adoption
haven't ordered
is
any.
committed to finding
A
safe,
year I've been
permanent
waiting for them to get
homes
the
for
sticky
the
ones that are big
longest
enough for a
waiting
rat.
children in foster
But there's
care.
the ones for
I
a
not
house.
only
for
love
rats.
these kids, I
Pull
am
right
just
out.
so proud of them. You can help. Visit DaveThomasFoundation.org.
bad.
Hello, friends. This is Randy Bergen, host of Southern
Fairway.
Fairway Sports Radio Show.
Fairway.
Well, the football season is
Yeah,
underway.
I
I
want
personally invite you to join me and the gang every Saturday morning, beginning at 10 a.m. as we'll talk college
Hey,
football
I
from
don't
around
know.
the nation, and of course, we'll break
And then I
down the
may go
games
to-
in the SEC.
Well,
We'll have some
every time
great
I'm
guests from the
Sassy, they're always
sport.
out.
We'll throw in some
Supposed to
golf,
go
maybe
there,
some
hope
hunting
to
and
go to
fishing as
Fairway.
well, and you
The
know
show.
we'll have some giggles along the way. Southern Fairway Sports Radio Show with me, Randy Bergen, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. right here on FM Talk 106.5.
Mike Bailey, Stuart Revved Donald, devoted to the complete gastronomic experience.
I want a big butter and egg man.
Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Hey, Stu.
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
You know, we're going to be over there at the temple today.
Yeah.
Hobnobbing, sampling some bourbons. But, you know, right across the parking lot, you can see Bob's Downtown Diner.
I may see it from the interior afterward.
Oh, there you go. I've already made a presence there.
Yeah.
You ought to go make a presence there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, if you're down there, stop by Bob's.
Dadgummit.
It's at the corner of Fat and Happy, and it says Fat and Happy on the side of the building.
Yeah.
Corner of St. Francis and North Jackson. And if you're over in the grocery stores, Piggly Wiggly or your favorite grocery store, look for the Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats. Fine stuff, made in Chickasaw.
Oh, them red hots, man.
Oh my God, that cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
Don't salt the cabbage down there. They put or don't add any more flavor because that red hot's got enough flavor to it. I guarantee. Hey, where did I get that from?
Stole it.
Watching Justin Wilson talk about onions.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then if you're over on Florida Street, be sure to stop by Butch. I was in Butch Cass the other day, saw our friend Derek Knight.
Oh, Derek.
In a table full of Auburn guys and
celebrating it. Having one of the finest basketball programs the world's ever seen.
But yeah, there were some Bammer guys there set the table too, but I think they made them sit at the end.
Yeah.
The table.
Well, after Alabama lost to Purdue Friday night, I need to pipe down.
Anyway.
There's already been some really marquee games this year. Auburn and Houston was a big game. Kentucky and Duke, and Kentucky under brand new coach Mark Pope looked great taking down Duke.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alabama and Purdue was a big game. That's two teams that were in the Final Four last year.
I'm just trying to get through football season.
Yeah.
I can't keep
Well, you only got two more games left, buddy.
Yeah.
Plus, y'all be booking your plans for the Birmingham Bowl.
We'll see. Oh, well, usually that's y'all's. Anyway.
They're not making a bowl this year.
Anyway. Hey, next, we're like 11 days out from Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Turkey Day.
Yeah, next Sunday we'll be talking turkeys. We'll be talking turkey next Sunday.
Yeah, and duck and lobster.
That's right. That's a good idea. Alternatives to this.
It's not alternatives. It's the actual stuff.
Right.
The turkey is the alternative.
Right. But people, I don't think a lot of people view it that way. But you're right. You're right. But we're gonna talk about that next week. Of course, I'm gonna make
economics.
What? I'm sorry. What?
Was it a matter of economics that we went from?
Oh,
the primary move.
Because turkeys are
from
easy to
duck
mass
turkeys.
produce.
Yeah.
Oh, Rouse is giving away.
Yeah.
When you buy a ham, they'll give you a free turkey.
Yeah.
Wow. But we'll be talking about, and I'll be doing wine pairings. I'll make my suggestions on what wines to pair with your duck or goose. I have a friend who used to get goose every year.
Yeah. Plus, goose is traditional on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
From Europe anyway.
Yeah.
Goose is like a really big duck with a little bit of gaminess to the flesh taste, like you would get from venison or lamb.
Right.
But still delicious with that beautiful crispy skin, which is also a polyunsaturated fat on goose as well as it is duck. The purpose of that fat is so they can maintain buoyance. It's not from diet. That's why it's healthy. It's evolution.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's
We
all
can take advantage of evolution.
It's all relevant.
Yeah.
So
that's a totally different subject.
Yeah. So
Next week.
Yeah.
man, I'm looking forward to the next couple hours.
Yeah.
Couple hours from now.
Yeah. Whiskey.
I wonder what kind of food they're going to have there.
Hall sausage is going to be there, I believe.
That's one of them.
Yeah. So we'll see what's going on.
That's a fun event. It's great. And I always look forward to see Seth Detling and his wife there.
Yeah, I'd like to do a little interview with Seth. So if you think you could swing that for me.
Oh, I'm sure. Just walk up to it.
Yeah. Hey man, let's do some video.
When I first met him, he looked like a very respectful, clean cut real estate guy.
Business man.
But now he's got a big old long beard. Last time I saw him, he had a big old long beard. He looks like he was on Swamp People or Duck Dynasty and or from Moonshine, the show Moonshiners, So he's got some interesting stories about how, and he sat in for you one Sunday and he told his story about dealing with the ABC board
and
but the ABC board has really come around a lot and you got all those middle state Bible Belt, the Black Belt, Bible Belt, politician like folks out there that were not progressive at all in their thought process.
Puritans.
Yeah. And they weren't about to allow you. Well, I remember when we brought Fat Bastard into the state, and and they wouldn't let us bring Pinot Noir, but they did Chardonnay. And they said, well, that's just too much right now. So a year later, we got the Pinot Noir in. And then I tried to bring in Menage a Trois out of California because we found it riding around one day, and they were one of the few wineries that were still open late in the afternoon to sample.
Yeah.
And we tried to bring it in, and the guy in Montgomery said, man, they will run me out on a pole and throw me in a river if I approve that. And he said, you know, come back. I'm retiring in May. Come back. And then I'll be retired. Then and I said,
good old public service.
And but anyway, Alabama Crown ended up bringing it in like a couple of years later, and they had it done. But they're more open-minded, especially if you look at all the outdoor events now, and you're able to have an adult beverage.
Yeah. Well, if people forget that Mobile, Baldwin County, our culture is nothing like the rest of the state.
Absolutely.
Because we're an international port.
Yeah.
And we've been multicultural since 1703. The rest of the state, you get to some of these small towns, and there's either 100% white or 100% black in their population. It's a whole different world when we got here. State of Alabama printed out these brochures. It was a tour of every winery in the state of Alabama. You went all the way through it and got it stamped at each one, and then you get a token passport for these. And the churches up in North Alabama went ballistic that taxpayer money had been spent to promote alcohol. And luckily, some level-headed people told them, go to church. You go to church. Let these people go visit a winery, just like Christ would have done.
Hey, the Fort Alabama has church every Sunday morning.
Yeah. So it was a battle just because of those brochures.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just ridiculous.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
For food and
Benjamin Franklin. Beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy.
There you go. Well, folks, it's about time to go ahead now.
Yeah, you got a little bit late.
Okay. Well, we want you to get out there.
Mike is so
He's
anxious
to get downtown, man. That's ready to go.
We do want you to get out there and support local, be local, and buy local. Be generous during the holiday season as we approach. Thank God it's finally getting a little cooler out there.
Yeah.
Be safe this Tuesday. It's supposed to be some bad weather Tuesday, so hopefully not too bad. But get out there, support local, be local, buy local, and
provolone.
Provolone, folks. You need to listen.
Instead